The fact that Gordon Chang still gets airtime on American media as a China expert is tragic for America. And it really is. There's possibly no better example of failing upwards in the American media than Gordon Chang. This guy has been predicting that China is on the brink of collapse since 2001.
I am going to be the most pro-Gordon Chang person on TikTok today. For all the ridicule people throw at him over his China collapse predictions, his 2001 book, The Coming Collapse of China, was not entirely wrong. In fact, it was broadly accurate in identifying many of the real structural problems China faced in the turn of the century. Non-performing loans in the banking system, environmental degradation, the low productivity of the state-owned enterprises. These problems are all true. However, he underestimated the ability of the Chinese government to respond. China went from being one of the world's biggest polluter to becoming the global leaders in renewable energy. Many Chinese state-owned enterprises were restructured, listed on the stock market, and turned into companies with trillion yuan valuations. The banking system survived the property bubble and still managed to channel huge amounts of capital into strategic sectors like advanced manufacturing and high technology. The problem with Gordon Chang was not of his original diagnosis. The problem is his refusal to update the reality. He identified the real problems, but when China adapted, he just kept repeating the same conclusion, and that is what makes his analysis less serious over time. Because once your model fails to account for the system's ability to self-correct, you are no longer analyzing reality. You are just repeating a prophecy and waiting for the history to eventually make you look right. Today, Gordon Chang's strategy seems to be very simple. Predict China's collapse every single year and hope that one day, maybe by pure probability, it finally happens. Maybe not this year, maybe not in his lifetime, maybe not in his children's lifetime. But perhaps 1,000 years from now, if China ever does collapse, Gordon Chang will be finally remembered as the prophet who was only early by 1,000 years.